Hi, guys. So, something really important that I've been kind of getting messages on that I need to talk about is trauma bonds. Because so many of us have had them or currently have them and have no idea how the fuck to get out of it. It's very serious. Um, Everybody knows my story, I've already told it. But there's little bits and pieces, that everybody doesn't always tell. For instance, trauma bond is a relationship of any sort. It can be a family member, it could be a friend that's unhealthy for you. It can be somebody you're dating. It could be somebody you're married to. It could be any of it. But it's somebody you know you don't have a healthy attachment with, that you know is not good for you, but you constantly feel the need to want to please them, and you stay with them because you're comfortable in that chaos, in that toxicity, in that drama. It's like you don't know anything else. Maybe you grew up in a house you never saw a healthy relationship. It's very rare to see that love. The type of love I want in my life, I don't think I've ever seen. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to believe that it exists. The stuff I've been through, I'm going to use it to help other people. If you are in any sort of trauma bonds with a sibling, with a family member, a mom, a dad, uncle, and aunt, a girlfriend, a boyfriend, release it. Release yourself. That's what holds you back in life. Even if you're doing great things and you're successful, you can't emotionally be free when you're in a trauma bond. You're constantly trying to please somebody that can't be pleased. And when you go through certain childhood traumas, sorry, I'm trying to get through this without being emotional. You grew up being a people pleaser. You don't want to tell people no. They ask you for favors, you want to do everything for them. You want to financially take care of everybody in your life. You want to buy them things and spoil them. You want to please them. So then you're validated and they validate you, and that's how you feel love. Never knowing that that's not love. I felt like that a long time. So I want to save other people from feeling like that. That's why I share these stories. I don't want people to be sorry for me or pity me when I share these stories, by the way. See, I have done the work. These are parts of the old me that don't exist anymore. It's healed. But I can empathize and I can remember. I can feel what somebody else feels. And this is also important to speak about genders with this. And I don't care what anybody has to say, because everybody always thinks it's women. And when I lived in Texas, I don't want to use names of people, so I'm just going to say somebody I dated had family members that were women. And I've seen a lot of manipulative things done. I've seen people lie about having cancer. I've seen people lie about having other health issues. I've seen people lie about having miscarriages. I have seen people use their kids as pawns to guilt a man into staying with them. I saw a lot of things that I didn't even know existed. I had no idea, because I was always just that honest person. If I don't like you, I don't like you. I would never fake anything like that. I didn't understand it. I thought it was like a mental illness. And the more I'm around all different types of people, the more I'm realizing it's almost the normal, being comfortable in chaos. I will speak for myself in my past relationship when I say how to really know if it's a trauma bond is you're always trying to please somebody who's just not pleasable, to feel some sort of validation back. And even when you financially give them everything, like take them on vacations, do all these things, it's like you'll get that small gratification in the moment, and then it goes right back. It's never going to change, because people like that are not worthy of you. They're not worthy of you. And that's what this whole awakening process is about. You realizing who you are. You realizing your higher self, your best version of you. I can go real deep into all this, and I just might. Because I don't feel like making a whole nother video on this subject. So let me just go a little bit. The bottom line with the trauma bonds is you're always going to feel guilty. So guilt will keep you somewhere that you know you don't belong, that you know doesn't feel right. So no one else can tell you, by the way, not your friends, not your family members. When I wasn't happy, I hid it from my family. Even my friends I would complain to all the time. Sometimes some certain friends I'd act like I was happy in front of. But most of them knew I wasn't. But my family especially, I didn't want them to worry about me. So you just tell everybody, I'm so happy, I'm so fine. You just get tired of acting. I'm not fucking happy. I'm not fucking fine. I would need to find a way out. But you feel trapped because you trap yourself there because you feel guilty if you leave this person. They make you feel guilty. They make you feel like you're responsible for them. Like you're responsible for their happiness. You're responsible for their finances. You're responsible for their kids. You're responsible for everything in their life, but you're not. You're not. You're responsible for you. And who looks after you? You do, right? Because if the person you're with or that family member, whoever else, isn't looking out for you the way you're looking out for them, then you're looking out for yourself and you're wearing yourself thin because you're doing it for everybody around you. And that's what I always did. People pleasing. That's what you do when you have those childhood issues. You just want to feel the validation of love. But you don't know what real love is. So you spend your whole life sabotaging yourself from real love. And you set yourself up for the kind of love that you don't want. It's a sick, twisted game we all play with ourselves. But once you get out of it, you're out of it. Have to free yourself. Have to surrender to it. You have to realize it. You have to own it. The biggest part about everything we do in life is accountability within yourself. I had to realize I became a monster sometimes to beat a monster. I didn't just take the abuse sometimes. I would call the most horrible names back. I mean, I could cry at some of the most disgusting things that came out of my own mouth. I own it. I didn't just sit there and always take shit. Everybody knows me. Like, I'm gonna fucking boss up. There were so many times, though, that I would get bullied for fucking days and I would say nothing just because I didn't want, there was kids in the house. I didn't want an argument. I know there's people that relate to this. And that's why I have to use it to help others. Then you feel guilty because your kid's around this person and they're used to this person. Meanwhile, I found out after, like, my kid just wanted to see me happy. Like, I should have just saved myself. You know, you're not always the best actor that you think you are. But in that time, you pick up even more bad habits on your own. Because then I'm yelling. I become toxic. I threaten to run away. And I call names back. And I become everything I don't like during that process, which I had to heal that too. Because that's not what I want. And that's not the relationship I want with anybody, a family member, a real love relationship, any of it. I'm not having that with anybody. There's lines of respect. And when you love a person, you don't cross them. You have to heal. And if you're not healed, you can heal together. But you have to be willing to be accountable and know, damn, I fucked up. Damn, this isn't right. Before it's too late. Because time waits for nobody and that shit goes by so fast. Man, I can never get that time back that I lost, but I don't regret any of it because I love who the fuck I am now. When I say I found that love within myself, having nothing to do with the way I look. I learned to just like look back on my whole life and give myself the love that I wanted. So I know when I'm with somebody, what I have to offer, what value I hold. They won't find that in someone else. Because I know how to treat a person. I know how to treat myself. I'm a diehard. I'm a ride or die. And it's rare. Because I've never really had one. But I know it exists. But you have to heal to be that. You have to be accountable for not being that. And it's very rare that you can do that with a person you have a trauma bond with. It's so much damage is done. You just get this feeling inside of you. You just know they're not right for you. As far as this whole awakening process goes, these little bits and pieces come from it. Being awakened is not, hey, I'm noticing everything that's going on in the world and politics and the stock market and all these screwed up things. That's being woke. Being awakened is being enlightened within yourself, of your own life, reflection, self-reflection on what you've been through, what you've put other people through, your purpose, your connection with either God or the universe. And nobody's heard of Kundalini awakening, you should probably look that up. And this will get into a whole other topic, but I'll save that one for another day. Once you're awakened and you see yourself in a different light, you will protect your energy. You will realize how much power you hold within yourself. That you won't just let anyone access it anymore. That's why you won't just sleep with anybody anymore. That's why you'll have certain standards, because you know your self-worth. You know what you're here for. No one likes to hear the truth, but there is a truth, and a lot of people know it. And the truth is, this is a test. It all is. You sign contracts before you're born here, believe it or not, to go through some of the toughest shit. Soul contracts. I don't know if I want to get into that because it's going to make me sound crazy, and I really don't give a shit if I sound crazy because it's the truth, but all different kinds of soul contracts. There's people in your life that are literally there for karmic reasons, to give you misery, to test you. Not that they're aware they're doing it now that they're here, but it was part of the plan. That's the truth. So you need to look at your life like you're in some fucked up movie. That's what I just started doing. I'm like, this is some fucked up Matrix. This is some fucked up movie. Oh, this motherfucker wants to do that to me. Well, let me show you. Instead of being so in your head and logical about it, like, think about it. How many people around you are actually looking out for you? That you really know and you could really feel. That you can say are looking out for you more than you're looking out for them. Who is looking out for you more than you're looking out for them? Can you name people? How many are there? And are those really people that are looking out for you more than themselves? Or do they want something from you or need something for you? Or are you doing something for them? Who is in your life because of who you are inside? Who stays for that reason and that reason only? Who sees you for who you are inside? Because my eyes, I always kind of had this, but especially since my awakening, I could look right in somebody's eyes and I see their soul. And in that, I could see the good potential that's there. And I see the fucked up mask that they wear to protect themselves. And everybody at some point or another wears a mask, because everybody at some point or another has to protect themselves, especially when you've gone through a lot of the shit I've gone through. That wall has to be, you feel like that wall has to be up. But the thing is, when you find the right people, you don't need that wall up. When you find the right people, when you're awakened, they can actually feel through your wall. This is going to sound even crazier, but like telepathic communication, not sitting there imagining you're talking to somebody. No, actually like being woke up out of your sleep. Like, I feel this person crying. I feel this person in anxiety. I feel this person this. There's such thing as a soul connection that you have before you're on this planet. And if you feel that with somebody, that's why. I don't feel that with just anybody. When I'm sitting face to face with somebody, I can feel certain things and I can feel their energy. I'm going to have to get into different relationships, basically. There's karmic relationships, like I said. Almost always going to be our family. They're going to test you in every way possible. They're going to give you that rough upbringing because you need all these sufferings to do the job that you came here to do with a purpose. And anybody who's been through it knows what I'm talking about. And if you haven't, yeah, I sound crazy, but I don't give a fuck. Because it's going to help the people that it needs to help. The people who care about more than the materialistic and the fucking shallow. Because people like that will never see their higher purpose. They will never see what's actually going on around them and how the universe works. So there's karmics. That's what they are. You're paying off karmic debt from every lifetime before by suffering the pain, going through all this with them. But you're supposed to learn the lesson, pass the test, and move on to the next thing in your life to get to the good. Then there's soulmates. A soulmate, which I feel like I've been with before, is a person that you could be with and you're very compatible with, and you feel like you've known them before in another lifetime. You probably have. And that's an amazing relationship. And most people in this world can be in a relationship with their soulmate and be very happy. Twin flame is very hard to explain because unless you are one, you can't grasp it. And if you try talking about it with other people, they will never understand it. Twin flame is where you can lay in your bed at fucking 4 o'clock in the morning and be woken up because you know that the person you're tied to is thinking about you, is having a bad day, is not doing good, is acting like they're okay on the outside, but they are dying on the inside. It's not being any sort of psychic. It's an intuition you get because your souls are the same. There's a lot of wrong information out there on twin flame, but there's a lot of right information too. If you find the right stuff and the right people, you can really get clarity if you are in a twin flame relationship to understand it, because it's really extremely hard to go through. You have to be in a separation period. There's a lot of stuff that has to happen. And if one person does the work and the other person doesn't do the work, by a certain time, the universe gives that person a soulmate. The other person has to stay in their karma. But twin flames are people that literally came here. It's a very special bond to create and build something that helps the greater good. And there's, I think if you look it up, only 144,000 people, not matches, people. Think of how many people there are in this world. That's the statistics. 144,000 people that are twin flame matches. That's how rare it is. You'll know if you're in one. Trust me, you know, because that person will trigger everything in your soul to inspire you to be better, to hold a mirror up to your fucking face. There's a lot to it. But it's all related, because if you are in a twin flame connection, there's a million things to stop it from happening for a reason. And you have to be aware of that. And it will sound crazy to your friends and to anyone around you, unless you just know. Which I've talked to a few people that are in them, so they get it. It's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. I'll get into more of that another day. But soulmates you can be happy with. And you'll be tested with. Trust me. I've been tested. But for a long time, I held on to something that I knew better. But in doing that, you put your self-worth second. And you can't do that. So it's a catch-22. My greatest test is always, I have to love myself. And I have to stop trying to help people by interfering with what the universe has planned for them, and just let it be. The thing is, you can't wait around. Not on a twin flame, not on a soulmate, not on a karmic, not on anybody. You're not allowed to wait around. Time doesn't wait for anybody. So you have to live your life. You have to keep building up your strength. You have to do what you're supposed to do. You have to start building what you have to build. You have to start bringing great things and positivity into this world, if that's your purpose. I hate this subject. I'm sorry, I just do. I don't even know if I want to post this video, honestly. It's more about the trauma bonds. Just, you'll never even know if you have a twin flame out there. You'll never even know if you have a soulmate out there. You'll never know anything if you stay in a trauma bond. And they're put in your life so that you don't know, so that you stay there. So you have no idea what real love is. So that you never overcome the obstacles that were set in your life to hold you back, because you were meant for such fucking greatness that all of those things are literally put here to stop you. And when you give in to them, that's exactly what they're doing. They're stopping you. Because even if you live a beautiful life and a great life, you have no idea what it's like once you become truly awakened and enlightened, and you have a certain understanding for what the fuck is going on. It's pretty magical. I've been on one hell of a journey the last year, more than any other year of my life. And the 3-year cycle comes to an end in a few days. And no matter what happens, I've had some rough tests this week that brought me back to some old habits of my own, where I was like, damn, why did I just say that? Damn, why did I just act like that? Like, it's just realizing in the moment, when you're acting your old self, when you're repeating an old pattern and correcting it, you're still passing. Because it's all about moving forward, not staying stuck. You have to constantly grow and evolve. That's what we're here for, all of us. I'm going to spend my life showing people the way. Because you really can have anything you want in life. And I'm not talking about, let me sit here and name a specific person and they're going to come. And let me sit here and say, I want to be, look like Kim Kardashian and it's going to happen tomorrow morning. No, that's not what I mean. What I mean is, you can call in and say, I'm deserving of love and I'm going to have the love of my life. And I want to be extremely financially abundant and I'm going to make it happen. And I want to be happy and I'm going to make that happen. Other people like to call it manifesting, whatever it is. When you reach a certain point, in your own journey. You deserve those things. So you don't have to chase them. The universe brings them to you because you've earned them. And you might not get all of them because all of them aren't always up to you. But you can control your finances. You can control the people you're around. You can control what you allow in your life. Nobody should be living in chaos anymore. I don't want anybody to be living in pain. I don't want anybody to be suffering for anything they even went through in the past. You can heal from it. And it's called transmuting energy. You can transmute it into something beautiful. It's help change the world. That pain, make it beautiful. Because I was full of pain. I used to say I was like a beautiful, chaotic disaster. That was my life. Not anymore. But I'm so thankful for it because I'm going to help save other people from theirs. You're not a disaster. And if your life is chaos, you're going to find your way out of it. And I'll make lots of videos and you can reach me and I'll help you. Everybody needs somebody sometimes to help guide them. Because you don't want to sound crazy or talk to people about certain things. It's not easy to open up. I'm always open. My heart is open at all times. I'm the most forgiving person too. You could come to me and tell me you did the worst fucking things in the world. And if you're just accountable for it, no matter how bad it hurts, I can look past it. If you change those things about yourself. Because I'm not who I was. And I changed those things about myself. And if you don't know how, you go find your person and your people. And they'll help you. But you have to find the right people. The people that your soul feels that connection to. You feel it intuitively. Not here, inside. You know when you feel right around somebody and when you don't. But these cycles, they're not a joke. This Tesla 369 shit, it's not a joke. And this 3-year cycle is coming to an end. And I'll be damned, I'm not starting that over. Because this last 3 years was the worst for me. The hardest, I should say. Not the worst. I think when you're a kid, it's the worst. But this was the hardest for me. And I'm not doing it again. Not for anybody. No. I'm going forward. And I hope that this video finds people that also want to go forward. You don't want to have to recycle and do it even harder again the next time. Don't do it to yourself. And if you do, I can't feel bad because that's a choice. We all make choices. I choose now to wake up every day and put myself out here. No matter how crazy I look, I choose it. I choose to serve other people. I choose to serve the greater good. I choose to help people have this understanding because I know I've gained a certain amount of wisdom and knowledge from the shit I've been through. And I have a different type of understanding of how the world works than people that just study books. It was gifted to me. And I'm going to use it to change the world. And there's nobody out there that's going to tell me I can't conquer this world and change it because I will. Even if it's by myself, I will. So, I guess that's enough for today's lessons. I rambled on and on instead of sticking to one topic as usual. But certain parts of it will help people. I still got to go get a workout in. I don't know what I'm doing. Honestly, sometimes I get so bored because there's so many things I want to talk about and like be excited about and like share. And it would be like too much. So and it's like now I'm just bored all the time. It's like, hurry up, people, wake up, because like I got shit to do and I got things to talk about. And the more people I find that are awakened and have gone through a lot of the same experiences as me, it's pretty freaking amazing. I love talking to those people because they just get you. Sometimes you even have to talk, you just know. It's crazy. But that's enough for today's lesson, folks. Yes, I'm a crazy bitch. It used to be the good buck cherry kind. Now it sounds more like a Kanye kind, but it's actually not. It's actually truth. And within the next, I don't want to do times, but in a short period of time from now, the world is going to realize that the people that were awakened and enlightened before are not crazy. They're going to actually look at them for guidance because they're going to know how not crazy we all are. So don't feel bad. Speak your truth because they're going to find out. Because there's bigger moving parts to this and even more that can go on and on and on in another video. But I love you guys. Stay strong. Cut and release those trauma bonds so you can set yourself on the path that you're supposed to be on in your life, that you will figure it out as you go. Love you, mofos.